What's everybody? Welcome back to the show. Words. Faded down. No,
we faded out in favor.
Yeah.
One more time.
Yeah.
And scene.
It's me. It's Jeff Gerstmann. Hi, we're back. We've got another couch full of guests, full of friends and contenders and all sorts of business over here. What's going on? We got the #1 motherfucking contender.
And the place to be.
Samoa Joe is here.
Right on the bomb.
Yeah. Thanks so much for coming. Xavier Woods, of course, returning.
Also, #1 contender.
Also, #1 contender in the Windjammers world as
No,
well.
no.
And
for
for the tag team championships.
Yes.
You got a double contendership.
Trying. I don't have to fight Brock Lesnar though.
Yeah, no, that's.
I know.
Mazel tov.
Yeah, and I got to beat him half to death to get what I want, so it's going to work out right.
It's about time someone did.
Yeah.
He deserves it.
Drew Scanlon is here.
I could have been a contender.
From Cloth Map. You're
a contender?
You're a Cloth Map contender.
I am?
Yeah.
Thanks, Xavier Woods.
Man.
We've got Team Dancers back there.
What's up?
Yeah.
You know, this is a real fucked up reunion episode. I didn't expect it to go this way.
No, we got a lot of emails, so
Right.
yeah, you want to jump right to that?
Sure.
Okay.
They've got questions.
We've got dancers.
Dancers?
Dancers.
It's
Dancers.
the podcast.
Danny
all the
McGuire
hot
and
influencers
Dan
listening.
Reichert are
Yes.
here.
Man.
Yeah.
Hi, welcome. Hi.
Thanks so much.
Yeah.
I want to ask these two guys, Floyd Mayweather, Conor McGregor, who's going to win?
Floyd
Yeah.
running away.
Wow,
Yeah.
they're not intimidated by the fact that I'm Irish one bit.
Oh no.
Not even a
Okay.
little bit.
Been beating up Irish
I don't
people
see a
for
drink
years.
in your hand, so you don't have your powers.
Yeah.
Oh no. Never mind.
yeah.
The most Irish of drinks.
Yeah.
It's a Mexican drink, is it not?
Tecate. The pride of Dublin.
Hi, lady.
Is that Mexicans and Irish are like the same thing? Like big Catholic families, lots of drinking.
Yeah.
We all both love horchata.
Keep going on this one. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm liking this analogy.
Yeah. I'm mostly Irish.
Right.
Floyd Mayweather, definitely. That's
Yeah.
100%.
What if the fight starts and McGregor just kicks him in the fucking...
This is literally every Irishman
Yeah.
in the world and what they're going to say for the next
Yeah.
until the fight
But
happens.
what if?
Are these
But
boxing
what if?
rules? Or
What
is
if
this
I was
MMA
fighting
rules?
him and I kicked him right in the throat?
Okay.
What if?
Yeah.
He brings down the thunder in his right hand and puts it across his face, and all of Ireland raises up in a roar.
Oh my God, I didn't know.
Selling me on this, actually. Now I'm like, wait a minute, actually. That might work out.
Are you sure he's not Irish, Joe?
Yeah.
Ooh. He's been fooling everybody all along.
I've drank enough of your whiskey. I'll play that.
So you guys have been here. I mean, obviously, handling some video game business, hosting some shows, representing out there.
bouncing around.
How has E3 been going? Did you get any time to walk around and see anything? Or?
We walked around and saw a little bit. The main thing that we did today was play Call of Duty, World War II. It was fantastic.
Yeah, it was really, really good. That
So
was,
sick.
We came up with a new catchphrase for it.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Boots on the ground again.
Put the jetpacks down.
Oh, I can
Yeah.
take that. I can take the again out.
Yeah.
Boots on the ground.
Put the jetpacks down.
There we go.
All right, that's pretty
So
good.
technically, he came up with it. So all we're asking for is like 10%.
We're working, putting that into copyright, and hopefully they'll use it.
Yeah.
And,
We're gonna put them on those little gummy bracelets everybody wears now.
yeah.
Yeah, no, everyone's into the slap.
It's out the
race.
street.
Yeah.
That's hot shit. That's hot shit right there. And then doing a little bit of stage hosting as well, right?
No, not yet. So tomorrow we're doing stuff with GameSpot. But for today, we did the Call of Duty. We went and played the Dragon Ball fighting game, which is
It looks, I mean,
unreal.
like
Yeah, it
Guilty
looks
Gear
incredible.
was
So
a hell of a
good.
game. And,
Yeah.
and,
It's like Guilty Gear and MVC mashed together, and it's just like we get all these characters from Dragon Ball universe. Like
the Trunks, those are literally the only Dragon Ball Z characters.
The trunks.
I think Vegeta. There's a Goku
Are you a
and Mr. Dragon.
big anime fan?
Yeah, I mean, I followed it, and I wouldn't say that I'm a really in-depth anime fan, but I watch enough and I've experienced enough that I have a good working knowledge of the anime universe. So Dragon Ball Z, I think everybody's kind of, whether you're an anime fan or not.
Like you soak in some of
Yeah,
it.
yeah, it's just by
especially for
osmosis.
video games. You're just like, no, that's the Cell games. I know. Yeah, the
Yeah.
Cell, this stuff happens. Yeah. It's all
which
real.
is the best saga, which we talked about. Yeah,
we were debating Frieza versus Cell
Cell.
Saga.
It's Cell.
But
Cell.
like I don't know, Frieza's saga never really ends because it keeps coming back, and then he's gold, and
yeah,
it's a thing.
that just means you didn't get right the first time.
Okay, fair. Anyway, yes.
Yeah. So then tomorrow doing a little bit of stage show hosting. Is that the?
Yeah, I think it's just interviews with GameSpot.
Oh, okay.
He's
Yeah.
the guy who took my job. Dude, this is how it went down.
Yeah. No,
Right.
that's.
I told you, I'm encroaching. I'm coming in. I'm forcing my way into the games industry.
Gonna be making
really is.
documentaries about Rocket League next.
Yeah. Hey,
Someone
I mean, went to the World Championships, which was awesome. I actually remember when we met at that SummerSlam, and I told you that I wanted to do stuff with games.
Yeah.
I told you I wanted to like
Before you
write
launched the,
articles and stuff.
YouTube.
Yeah. See,
Yep.
I'm coming in.
2012,
I'm,
right?
I'm just following your footsteps.
right.
You paved the way
I blazed
for me.
the trail for all these
Exactly.
motherfuckers.
Daniel Dwyer's the original man. That's
Yes.
Yeah, no, definitely. Drew Scanlon back in the United States
That's right.
for like this fleeting moment here.
Yeah.
How's it been out there traveling the world, seeing what there is to see? And coming back to E3 for like, why would you come? Why are you here?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
It's all one long journey, Jeff.
Okay, all right.
I actually wasn't going to be here because I didn't think I would be able to slot in. I didn't want to like book E3 and then have to book my first trip around that. 'Cause,
Yeah.
like, first trip you got to nail, right?
It'd be real
course,
shit
yeah.
if
Yeah.
Klopp went to Los Angeles first.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't set the
Travel documentary of this great burrito around the corner here.
I drove this truck down here.
Yeah.
And then I realized that my sister had put together this trip for our family to come down and celebrate my dad's birthday the weekend before E3. So on Saturday night, I went and saw Chicago and the Doobie Brothers.
man.
How good were the Doobies? Was Michael McDonald with them?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it was just.
He really lets come sail away.
Michael McDonald's my jam.
Yeah, I mean, I am more of a early Doobie Brothers fan and early Chicago as well. Although they played all the hits, Jeff.
I mean, I imagine at this point they're really going to run through, the full catalog. They're not going to go like, oh, we only play the new stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chicago's like, oh, we play.
There's 4 original dudes still left, and they're like 3 of them are over 70 years old.
Wow.
And they played for like 2.5 hours.
That's like, I imagine at that point you got to like go to sleep after that shit, like wake up, do the show, and then be like, all right, we're done. Like the tour's over. Let's go. That's, I mean, in the world of sports entertainment and the world of wrestling, the thought of doing that sort of stuff at 70 seems preposterous. But
I mean,
And yet, Ric Flair perseveres.
I mean, hey, not to say there's not people out there doing it, but maybe it's a little preposterous. But that's, I mean, when you guys are on the road doing this sort of stuff, sort of like the Doobie Brothers, sort of like Chicago, is it definitely like, hey,
pretty much just like Chicago.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah,
much
I
exactly.
was gonna say Chicago is definitely the
Yeah.
So that-
I mean, we're playing instruments. They're playing instruments.
Yeah.
Brass?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it a lot of, on the road just like, okay, like show's over, we gotta, like I'm done, like I'm spent, finished, or is it like, let's stay- let's
the
stay
next
out all
part
night?
starts.
Yeah.
So, depending on whether you're flying up in the morning, you'll drive to the next town, which could be like anywhere from like 3 to 4 hours.
Usually 3 to 4
Yeah.
hours. Lately, 3 to 4 hours.
Yeah, it's brutal. So you get to the next town, you get to your hotel like 2 or 3 in the morning, go to sleep, try to wake up at like 9 or 10 if you can, get to
Get
the
a
gym.
workout in.
Yeah.
Has that gotten better since the brand split?
I think we gained a day,
Yeah.
but the schedule essentially is still pretty much the same.
Yeah.
So it's like, instead of 2 days a week, we have 3 days a week, kind of middle of the week that we have for us. And then, but I mean, other than that, it's like literally when we get done with the show, usually you're right back in the car. And if you have something the next night, you get on to the next town. It's just kind of out of habit. So.
Nature of the beast.
Yeah, nature of the beast. But hey, it's a cool gig.
Yeah.
Can't complain.
It's
No,
fun, especially getting to travel everywhere, like all over the world, as you're traveling as well. So it's
such
cool.
a jet set couch this is.
Yeah.
You guys are like just let's compare passports.
Yeah.
Let's get into it.
TSA pre-check.
Yeah.
Clear.
Global entry. Yeah, that's all the night.
The cool thing I know from my perspective is being able to go to arcade bars just around the
I
world.
see you on Twitter. You're always like, where can I play NBA Jam?
Dude, it's the best.
And-
and people will, if I don't know one in the area, people will tell me, and I'll go, and then people will be there to play. So it's not even like anything crazy. People just want to come up and play video games.
Right.
And that to me is like, that's the essence of everything that we're all about. We just want to play games with people from other places and see what kind of skills they have. And for me, like you said, it's NBA Jam. That is like the bar for me.
Well, I mean, next time there's a pay-per-view in Petaluma, California, I've got an NBA Jam machine in my garage. So,
Come through and play.
yeah, come on through, and I'll show you how to. No, actually, you probably whoop my fucking ass at this point.
What about Blitz?
Blitz.
NFL Blitz, like I will.
I'm not
I can
great.
throw these and then
Yeah.
I've seen it happen.
Yeah, he's
I've witnessed it. I've never played against you, but yeah, I've witnessed it.
He's just fucking lying over there. Man. Danny, how's it going for you? Obviously, you're still in the world of covering video games. I
guess.
And doing your thing. But how is E3 different for you? Because obviously, like you were doing hosting gigs last year and going to this party on the roof because that's fun.
I know. I left the suit at home.
Yeah, nice. You didn't have to wear the suit this year. This is good stuff. So, are you just kind of like building material for like the next set of documentaries?
It's actually a really boring answer. We're actually just like doing meetings for stuff for the rest of the year.
Oh, okay.
So like
just like
no filming. So
it's just kind of like, hey, we would like to do something on your game.
And like today we locked down basically 4 months worth of work with like upcoming documentaries. So I mean, people are in town, and like the thing about E3 as well is that folks have announced their game finally, or they've said what date it's going to be, and then suddenly they're like, okay, now do you want to come in and shoot something about the game? So yeah, I basically booked the next like 3 or 4 months worth of stuff. So I'm just chilling the fuck out now.
Yeah, that's exciting. Yeah, and then
Shadow E3 in full effect.
Right. Yeah.
But it's weird, like going past the GameSpot stage and now being like an alumni. Like I still can't believe that I got to work at GameSpot for 4 or 5 years. So the fact that I'm like walking past it, like that whole ex-girlfriend thing where you're like, man, we really didn't get along at the end, but it wasn't so bad, was it?
We had some good times.
I could relate to that part.
Yeah. The difference is I dumped them, you got dumped. Yeah.
It's worked out fine.
Wow.
Both of us.
For both of us.
Wow. So Windjammers, not to just run NBA Jam to Windjammers, but that's you, a big proponent of frisbee, pong,
Frisbee
high speed,
based
death
sports.
action. Yeah.
Like, so Windjammers, and then obviously we got Disc Jam 2, which I think a lot of times when games that are similar that come out, we automatically think that they're competition for each other.
Sure.
But I think that these two games are actually going to enhance one another, because one's got like the tennis aspect and one's got the pong aspect, but both of them, it's the same sport. And I think just bringing more people to that style of play and that type of game is going to be unreal.
I figured I was gonna really hate Disc Jam when it first came out, and I started looking at it. I was like, it seems so slow. This is not Windjammers. What am I even doing? This is a waste of my. And I was like, oh, actually, wait. This feels all right. This feels a little different, but this is still pretty good.
Yeah.
But obviously, they just ran that beta for Windjammers on PS4. Like I think it just shut down while we were here.
Yeah, on the 12th.
Yeah, I got like 1 day in. Like I'm like, I should probably pack, but it works pretty well.
Yeah.
That was the big concern. Like, can you play this over the internet and have it work, or is it going to be?
It's like perfect.
Yeah.
And I don't like saying that.
I was getting pretty low pings. It felt good. Like I felt like I was playing a proper game of Windjammers.
And I think it's one of those things because it's not a ton of stuff going on.
Right.
It's just two characters moving and then frisbee going back and forth. It's not like grenades being thrown, explosions, and environments, and
or
this
like
and
12 hit combos in a fight. Maybe it is a little different. Yeah.
Yeah. So I that definitely helps it out. I think playing people, because like when I play people in France, like you would know when you're playing somebody in France because like you just get messed up.
Yeah, Windjammers France is where the Windjammers savages live.
Yeah.
Straight murderers.
It's so weird to say like, the French are destroying.
Yeah. Let me tell you about it. It's gonna blow your mind. But no, I mean, even when they came out to show it to us, I fancy myself like I'm all right at Windjammers, but I was a little out of practice, to be fair. But then I just got fucking worked.
Yeah.
Like they just came in and said, "Here's the game we're making. Fuck you." And I was like, "Oh, great! I didn't win any of these. That's
We know
awesome."
you like this. We're gonna destroy your dreams now.
Yeah, basically that's how it went. And I'm like, well, okay, that's maybe I'll get on the internet and maybe I can get above wood tier into something. But
Do they have tiers like that?
they do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Wood, silver, gold.
Yeah, and if I start getting matched with the people, how's the French Windjammers scene? You've seen it firsthand a little bit.
So they flew me to Paris, and it was incredible. Like I literally went for the day to film, and then flew back home to go wrestle and do some more stuff. But like we went to the arcade area where they were filming everything, and literally they just like ran through me. Everyone there is like a Windjammers expert, and it wasn't even almost close.
Yeah.
Any game. But they taught me all these tricks when I came back to the States to play with my friends. I was running house.
Nice.
But over there,
it's pick up a few things, but
That's a new show. You should like go to countries and just get worked. Like,
whatever game they're in.
Just start playing StarCraft in Korea, but like talk a gang of trash,
it's like coming through, Korea.
Yeah.
Bring your A game, I guess, if you got it.
StarCraft 2, you're going down.
Yeah.
Slapping kimchi out of cats' hands and be like, what? Just real rough and ghetto. And then just get worked.
Just leave with my head hung, come back to the station, just burn everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got it. I hold it down.
I hold it down here, at least.
I like that.
Yeah,
I like that.
it's gonna
That's
be a
good.
breeze.
You want to team up on that?
I would love to watch that
We
show.
can all do that.
All right,
We can do
you
that.
travel, you
Make a documentary on it.
about
Yeah.
it.
Okay.
Have you heard of Patreon?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Okay. We'll do that. All right. Check out our new Patreon for our new show we're bringing up.
They just launched all kinds of new tools.
Right.
Yeah, you can live stream on that thing.
You can
now,
live
right?
stream to members only.
Huh? It's almost like a missing piece of a puzzle.
Yeah. That's
Anyway,
wild.
It's like somebody over there is not doing their job.
Who would think of something so crazy?
Yeah.
it's live streaming. Why would you do it?
Yeah, to members only?
That seems ridiculous.
Oh, but
What?
No, this show is for everybody. This is E3. We're here hanging out.
of course,
with
yeah.
the entirety of the internet focused upon us.
I like that.
It's like the people out there just love games. Like Dan, you play Clash Royale every single day, right?
Not. I used to. I used to. And
And now
Xavier,
you
back me up here,
play
Xavier.
it every other day now? Is it what's-
No, it's not on my
Twice a
phone
day.
anymore. Xavier, back me up in that it's a good game. I'll show you my fucking phone. I think I tweeted the fucking image of me deleting it. There, take a look. It's awful.
That's like tweeting a picture of you in line at a methadone clinic. Like, I'm good. I'm good.
Like, it's a really well-made game, but it's awful at the way they structure the stuff. Like, did you spend money on it?
No.
Okay, I spent hundreds of dollars.
See, Dan.
Hundreds.
Yeah, like
You've
at
been
least.
jamming this whole
Dude,
time?
I just said in the other room that like all these games are literally app pyramid schemes.
Yeah.
And we all buy in, and you ruin friendships by getting your friends hooked into them, and you end up spending hundreds of dollars and.
I spent $5 on Wiz Khalifa's weed farm last week. I'm not proud of it. But that's just how it went. It was the right offer. I'm like, oh, 60 different new strains, huh? That's really going to make my weed farm look really good. I guess I'm an asshole. Here we go.
Well, so Xavier, I thought everyone enjoyed Clash of Clans at least, because that's the one they seemed most militant about in
Yeah.
the chat and everything.
Yeah.
But then I talked to you just now about it, and
Yeah.
you hate it too.
No, I don't hate it. I'm out because I was spending too much time. So it was to the point where I was so hardcore in it that it was like hurting my day.
Wait, do you like the game though? Like the actual playing of it?
I think the game is fun, but I can't play a game like that unless I'm completely devoted.
Are these games a problem in the locker room? Is it like...
I wouldn't say a problem, but they get intense.
Yeah.
They used to be a problem. So just to give a little bit of insight. So what happened to get us into these games, Cena started playing Clash of Clans. This was maybe 2.5 years ago. And then he was like, hey, I need people in my clan. And I was like, I tried this game and I didn't like it, but it's because I didn't have a clan. So a bunch of us got in. We got so serious about it. It's like 15 of us. But then what would happen is if you didn't do well in war, you were nervous to go to work. Because you know Cena would be disappointed in you.
Yeah.
And then it turned from Cena being disappointed to the whole clan being disappointed in you. So if you got like a 1-star war on like a Sunday and you're going to Raw on Monday, you didn't want to go in the locker room.
So were there any in-ring action that was maybe a little stiffer than it should have been as a result of a war?
It wasn't that
No one
serious.
taking liberties.
It wasn't that
Like,
serious.
hey man, come on.
It was just you were hanging your head in shame walking in the locker room, which is a weird turnaround from the way wrestling used to be. It wasn't all video games. It was like
Right.
we're living fast and we're on airplanes and limousines and woo! But like now it's like you got 1 star in the war. You dress in the hallway.
It's like there's that and like what? Like Big Show on a bus somewhere playing Destiny. That's
Dude, he loves Destiny.
yeah. No, he hosted like, on a panel.
He kind of did. He went off on me because I was a Vanguard. Like, lost his mind. Hey, you play Destiny? I said, yeah, man. He's like, well, what's your character? And I have one like character. I was like, oh, it's Vanguard. Oh my God. I expect more from you. Like,
Well, that's
just disgusted with me for like a week.
He takes it seriously. But that's the cool thing about kind of the way that wrestling has turned since we've had this gaming channel. UpUpDownDown. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. On Twitter and Instagram, UpUpDownDown without the O's. But just being able to have a platform where guys and girls that enjoy games can kind of push that agenda and say like, no, just because I'm on TV wrestling doesn't mean I don't like this other stuff. Right. And I think a lot of fans see us on television. They say, this is how they are. This is who they are. This is what they are. They put us in a box. You are wrestler A. You dance. You have crazy hair. You're 7 feet tall, and that's what you are. So with UpUpDownDown, we're being able to come out and say, Big Show loves Destiny. here's a platform to cut a 15-minute promo about it that I ask him one question, he just goes off, and it's like, ugh.
Right, yeah,
and now we got Joe at E3, and we're doing UpUpDownDown stuff, and people are coming into this culture that we have of wrestling and saying, oh, they play games too, and now we get to do stuff like this with you guys, and thank you for letting us into your world. So like, it's cool like that for us.
Yeah, it's been, that's been one of the fascinating things I think over, I'm trying to think, like, is it last 15 years or 10 years of wrestling? Maybe it's even shorter than that, but like, it really seems like there's a lot of people in the wrestling business that grew up really just like loving the art of wrestling. Whereas before it felt like these almost like 70s rockers in a lot of way, where they were just like just tough guys and just like, yeah, I don't know how to do it, whatever. But now it feels like, maybe it's just that's, people talk about it more openly and it's different. But
it's a direct result of just the changing media environment.
Sure.
Because I remember when I was coming up in the wrestling business, most people before my generation only had access to one kind of wrestling, and it was either WWE on Saturday mornings and Monday evenings, and that was pretty much the gist of it. But as I came up, and the internet came about, then you got tape traders, and then from tape traders spawned YouTube videos, and there became a greater exposure to very different styles of wrestling, and from Mexico to Japan to across the United States, even smaller companies, ECW, and as the kind of the country's media environment grew, so did the tastes in wrestling. And especially when you have younger guys coming up, they just experienced more different kinds of styles.
Right.
And some people incorporated it. Some people, they like the straight on, I guess American style of wrestling. And some people kind of have a hybrid style, and they take from here and there, and they take what they like and leave what they don't. So I think that's just a byproduct of that, if anything,
Yeah, just exposure to to that stuff.
It was more accessible. Whereas like before, if you wanted to see wrestling from other countries, you would have to be a part of a tape trading list, and you had to have relationships with people, and it was a real difficult, committed process. And as it became more convenient, obviously, you had people who were more appreciative of the art because they had more exposure to it.
Yeah, for me, I had to go over to Alex's house and like look at his big mask collection.
Yeah.
And just like, all right, man, let's watch these tapes. And yeah, no, definitely, like that was like seeing some more of that stuff, and now just with the way that streaming on the internet and all this other stuff has led to even further exposure of just like, now you have people watching live events taking place in other countries and other promotions and all this stuff. Like it's been awesome to see, and even just the way it kind of seems to have changed the way WWE thinks about all this stuff.
WWE definitely thinks more globally now.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, we're probably more global than we've ever been in the history of the company. I mean, and it shows up in our fan base, because like now when we do WrestleMania weekend, which becomes like this great pilgrimage for wrestling fans from around the world. Several other companies run their events around the same time, same area. We're obviously we do WrestleMania, we have NXT and all this other stuff. So as this is all going on, we start to meet people from countries you wouldn't even think, we would have exposure.
People come from like Indonesia.
Yeah,
it's like we're going to New Orleans. Why? WrestleMania? Oh, okay, of course, yeah.
And like it's as comical as it sounds. I mean, this guy came up to me. He's like, "Oh, I'm a big wrestling fan. We flew at her from Zimbabwe." I was like, "Oh my god, what?" Like,
Word?
What channel that on, man?
Yeah.
The channel's on like I Know a Dude. That's pretty awesome.
So it's like, I think we've kind of, especially now at the network, like we're embracing, like, we have a more global appeal, and we have fans kind of spread out throughout the world. We definitely tour more internationally.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
It used to be before, we'd head over to Europe.
We go twice a year, but now there's like random tours. Sometimes we'll go like 4 times a year, but it's like a weekend tour to Germany.
Right.
And then go somewhere else. But like, we had a show in Tokyo, so we stopped in London to do a show, and then went to Tokyo to do 2 shows, and it's like, what is happening? Like, how are we going to so many countries?
What time is it right now? Where am I? Who am I?
The state's so messed up.
Yeah.
It's a journey.
Yeah, and just even the program. I mean, like obviously, you both have time in NXT and all this other stuff, but also just like seeing the stuff show up on the network, like now the women's tournament coming up, or the UK tournament, and some of this other stuff. Like, just it's been cool to see it branching out beyond like Raw, then SmackDown. We're building to piev-and just like having it be like that cadence, like having all this other stuff around the edges.
I think
it's really neat.
To Joe's point about just widening the widening effect of different media sources, being able to bridge gaming and wrestling, bringing more fans into wrestling and more wrestling fans into gaming is awesome because, like you said, with the women's tournament and the UK tournament, it's like there are fans of different kinds of wrestling that are also fans of different kinds of games that are still able to come together in this synergistic like unity. So like people always ask me, they're like, it's like, preach. People usually ask like, oh, you know, why would you mix wrestling and games? It's like, dude, because it's two communities that are one and the same. Like people who are shunned for doing certain things past like 13 years old. Like, oh, you still watch wrestling? Like, oh, well, I grew up. And it's like, oh, you still play games? I grew up. It's like, dude, like, it's the same people.
And also, it's like, hey, comic book movies are the biggest movies in the
Exactly.
world. Like, what are we even talking about?
And now all the people that made fun of us are the ones who are like, oh, that's really cool. Like, what do you know about it? It's like, no. You don't get to come into our world now. No.
Too late.
Yeah, you stay over there now.
And also, in the years since, I got kind of built and I can fuck you up.
Exactly. I wanted to go to the routes like people used to be mean to me in school for being super into comic books and stuff, and now those same people are on Facebook like, hey, will you send this figure for my kid? And it's like, I sure will.
Yeah, I will.
I sure will.
Because I'm a bigger man.
Yeah,
That's what
literally and figuratively.
Yeah. Danny, how's it been being out on your own?
Has
it been a year now?
It's been 10 months since I left GameSpot and started this thing. It's been like creatively probably the most exciting time of my life because you've got carte blanche and you can do whatever you want.
Oh, totally. The blank slate is like, it's a little frightening, but also like it's very fulfilling as you start to build that stuff out. Yeah.
And like the reaction has been amazing. Like starting up a YouTube channel that was based on like not dealing with any advertising and also like publishing one video every like 6 weeks. That's like 40 minutes long.
That's what everyone loves on YouTube. Yeah, long
so
videos on YouTube occasionally.
Right.
Yeah.
So to see us like blast past 100,000 subs, which is like, we're not even like, the numbers don't really matter that much because ultimately it's for the patrons, but to see like the wider appeal and to see people going like, oh, why weren't people doing this before? And it's like, that's what I was saying fucking 4 years ago, and here we are.
Well, it's, sometimes if you can't find a way, you got to get out there and do it on your own.
Totally.
Drew, you're finding a way.
I am, yeah.
How was Eurovision?
I can't believe he got to go to Eurovision before the fucking Irish guy.
He's more dedicated. Drew has been dedicated to Eurovision the way you never were.
Eurovision was great. It was. I mean, I think I took a little. I managed to sneak in a little camera, and I spent most of my time just filming like the behind-the-scenes stuff, like roadies and the giant cameras on wires and jibs and stuff. And that thing moves. It is a well-oiled machine.
Yeah, like watching some of the live streams and stuff, it seems insane.
Yeah.
Like because each individual act has its own crazy number with it, or its own crazy, like presentation.
Pyro and
right, yeah.
And you get to see the performers walk out, like fix their hair and like wave to the audience before they belt out their ballad.
Oh, okay,
and so like that change is really interesting.
Like watching them walk out and be like, okay, all right, now I'm on. Yeah, that's exciting, and that's.
You can go to Eurovision Live. I recommend it.
Yeah, that sounds like a good time.
Also, I hadn't
Is
seen
this the
anything.
big song competition?
It is, yeah.
Okay, sorry, dude. I just saw this for the first time in my life.
It seems like
last time we were
for
in
a lot
Europe.
of people. Yeah.
And so it was like me and a few other guys were like sitting in the room, like it's later at night and like it's a replay obviously, and watching. My mind is blown. Like the production that goes into this.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, okay, yeah. That's context for me. Like, yeah, that's it. Like the Eurovision Song Competition is the most amazing thing you'll ever see ever.
Yeah, and like each one of these, competitors from different countries coming out and singing these songs, they're just like, some are all, they're all right. Some of it's amazing.
Some of it's amazing, but some of those voices you're just like, oh
like,
no,
this
like,
You made it?
Shouldn't have won.
You made it?
But they're manicured to a level.
Right.
When they walk out there, that is, I didn't think was. They look plastic, like when they walk out there.
There's something about the pop machine, watching it churn out, or watching it polish up people and put them out in front of people like that. That I've always found super fascinating, and then seeing that through a lens of like, here's how they do it in this country, here's how they think they want to make these people look before they send them out here, and you're like, that's not, well, all right, I mean, that works for you, I guess.
If it's fine for over there.
Yeah.
You should watch like tapes of it from like the 90s.
Do you have video footage of the people that just sit there and wave the flags like in every like B-roll shot?
It's
their wrists must fall off at the end of the night. They're just like, I love Italy. Woo!
No, I was in the Australian contingent.
Hey, is that the guy that got up there and balloon somebody this year?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What?
Like big old butt.
Why? Because it's Australia, man.
Yeah.
Okay, fair.
Yeah.
We showed them.
But like that that kind of image consultant thing, or that kind of polishing up process. Like, what is it like, kind of finding and honing a character, or kind of finding yourself and putting yourself out there in the world of wrestling? Because you hear a lot of stories about, like, oh, someone came in and they got like kind of a character kind of foisted upon them. I mean, Samoa Joe, you are still Samoa Joe.
Yeah.
You win.
Yeah, you made it through.
Yeah. Yeah, this one managed to make it through all the checks and balances. Me, it's just it's an amped up version of how I feel when I wake up too early in the morning, pretty much.
Yeah. And then obviously, like, the New Day has gone so far and done so much and dressed up like every Final Fantasy, just all this other stuff.
It's a weird thing.
Yeah, you have found this weird, amazing thing that, like, you look at it and go, like, this is what wrestling is now, and it's so cool that, like, this just gets to happen, and everyone's fucking into it. Everyone's amped. Get the fucking trombone. Let's go.
It's I don't know. I tried to explain, like, my mom's friend was like, oh, want to come to one of the wrestling matches? She came and she's like, so why do you guys wear like unicorn horns and why do you have a trombone? It's like, honestly, I can't tell you why.
I don't remember anymore.
It's funny to me, and so we started doing it. But I don't know, it took me longer than it took Joe. Joe's had his personality for a minute and knew his deal, and it took me a while to kind of navigate the waters and find it.
Consequences.
Yeah, went through some stuff.
Yeah, sure did.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
But, like,
we put him through some stuff too.
Yeah. I've known him for a while. But it wasn't until I started just being myself and saying, like, this is who I am, and throwing my own punches, saying, like, this is what I want to do tonight. And then going out and doing it, and it kind of like worked a little bit, and then no one said anything, as opposed to going out and doing what someone else was telling me to do. Because I think whether it's like wrestling or YouTube or in games, like, if you're throwing punches that someone else is telling you to punch, that someone else is telling you to throw, like, you're gonna go down because you're not using your gut instinct. But if you go down throwing your own punches, you'll be able to look yourself in the mirror the next day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So with New Day stuff, I just knew I wanted to be me finally, rather than trying to play a character. And it's like, what am I? Like, I'm a nerd who loves cosplay and video games. So I will find a way to incorporate that, because I'm not 6'2", I'm not 300 pounds. What skills do I have? I can play trombone and talk a lot. So let's do that.
Yeah,
and then it just
it
worked out.
I was there in the night when the trombone first showed up.
Was that a magical moment? You were like,
I remember I walked down the hall and I saw him. He had it in his hand, and we looked at each other about 4 seconds, and I went, "That's where we're at." He goes, "That's where we're at."
This is
like,
what we do.
We were just supposed to, like,
We make
play
movies.
We're gonna play a little song, and then I was supposed to hand it to the props guy at the end of the ramp, and then we'll do the match. But, like, I was done with the song. I saw the guy, and I was like, you know what? I'm never in my life again gonna have a chance to play trombone on TV while my friends wrestle. And so I was like, no, just go ahead. And so I was just playing the trombone through the match for no reason.
Yeah.
And the camera guy during the commercial break goes, "Vince is loving this. Keep going." And I was like, all right. Like, we came back to the curtain, and Vince was looking at me. He's like, "This is it. Every night, you stay with that trombone." And I was like, yes.
Yeah.
This is what I needed. All those years of putting my body through this hellacious training and pain and bumps.
Turns out.
I just needed a trombone. Cool.
Joe, we're going to get you an accordion. It's going to change your life. It's gonna be,
I hope so, man.
I see it, man. Great balls of fire.
Yeah, I'm gonna get out there.
On an accordion.
Yeah.
Just play the song.
Goodness gracious. Dang.
That's probably going to be the most smoking version of it.
Yeah.
That would
be nice.
Down. The accordion is really meant for.
Agreed.
So what's up next for you guys? Are you going to E3 at all, or you're done with business, so you're just like gonna drink as you do?
Final Fantasy 14 documentary is going up. Yeah.
Nice.
In the next couple of days, so check out youtube.com/NoClip video for that 3-parter. And then working on the next thing, which I can't talk about yet, but involves flying to Europe, and it's one that
I know what that is.
It's the Eurovision Song Contest.
What? You can't do Eurovision well. Let's take me with you.
Apart from that, no, I'm going to Universal Studios and getting fucked up.
All right, that sounds all right.
Yeah.
Drew, what's next for you? You've got some more videos to hit from this Eurovision trip, or is that kind of like you're finished with that and now you're on to the next thing?
No, I mean I shot a lot
Yeah.
over in Ukraine, so
No, I know how Drew Scanlon shoots, so I know you got it.
brother. Yeah, so I'm chipping through video after video, and I got another one coming up. Should be this week.
Cool.
From that, and yeah.
Is that was that youtube.com/clothmap?
It is.
Yeah.
We need to record an F1 podcast.
We also need to record an F1 podcast.
All right, and where can people find out about your F1 podcast?
F1.cool.
Giantbomb.com. Oh,
No,
sorry.
not anymore. No, now you get to own your own F1 podcast. Yeah. Yeah.
The moneymaker.
F1.cool.
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 Yes.
All right, and Xavier and Joe, you guys are on the show floor doing some interview business, doing a little E3 stuff. Is there anything you're hoping to get around and see while you're there?
Oh, we saw a lot today. But
Yeah. I want to see more on this, Detroit.
Yeah. Vinny checked out Detroit.
Yeah,
It's
dude.
very heavy rain, he said.
Yeah, and I love those kinds of games. Like Beyond Two Souls. Like, I played through like 4 times.
Yeah.
Love it.
I love that game.
Anything super story driven, I'm into. So I want to check that out. Hopefully see some more stuff on Spider-Man and see what like Exceed and Atlas have going on. So it's mainly a good general, like just kind of want to see everything.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we're gonna get in and check out a little bit of Anthem too, because I think we were kind of wild by that.
Yeah.
The new Mordor game, I think is. We walked by it like 20 million times because we were just doing other stuff, and we never like stopped.
Every
to
time you
see
stop
it.
and look, you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
This
there
fortress
it
is
is.
big.
Yeah.
Monster Hunter on the floor?
No, they are not letting people play Monster Hunter. My understanding is that they'd have like that footage again if you would like to see it, but they're not actually showing the game.
I saw it on giantbomb.com.
Well, it's on giantbomb.com if you want to see that footage. And then both of you, you got big events coming up here. I believe is it Great Balls of Fire and then
Yes.
Money in the Bank?
No Money in the Bank's this Sunday.
Okay.
And then Great Balls of Fire is what?
The following. I think,
Okay.
I believe,
So Money in the Bank first, and then Great Balls
Actually,
of
no,
Fire.
2 weeks after.
2 weeks.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Yep, and I will be destroying Brock Lesnar for the WWE Universal
I
Championship.
can't.
Nice.
Wait, I can't wait to see you do it.
Yeah.
I'm very excited.
Oh, I'm gonna stomp him out good, boys.
And then we can have us back on, and he'll be WWE champion,
That's-
and I'll be SmackDown Live Tag Team champion.
Belts. I got a replica belt I could bring in.
Oh.
Both look tough too. It'll be great.
Pretty much the same thing.
Yeah.
Titles. They're titles.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
not title.
Yeah, easy, dude. I
Belt
swear.
holds, belt holds your pants
Yeah.
up.
Ah.
Belt holds your pants up.
Yeah.
Okay. Nothing holds my pants up. These things are too loose. Well, thanks everyone for coming by. Dan from GiantBomb.com.
Yes,
Thanks for being here as well.
Can I say congrats to Dan?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Thank you.
A couple weeks here, right?
Yeah.
Very
Married in
exciting.
a goddamn Taco Bell.
It is.
Taco Bell marriage.
That's of all the places you would get married. Of course, it would be a goddamn Taco Bell.
Yeah. It's
I can't
unexpected.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. I drove past that Taco Bell when I was in Las Vegas, and Flo Rida was playing out of it. So
Great.
I was like, okay.
That's
you
an
know,
omen.
first
That's an
dance.
omen.
yeah, for a big
Our
wrestling fan like
dance,
Dan, of course,
Yeah.
Flo Rida's gonna be blasting out of there.
Little My House for the family.
Yeah,
That works out.
the sound of sports entertainment.
Yeah.
That's the father-daughter
That's what they call it.
dance.
Yeah. All right, thanks you all for being here. We are gonna take a quick break, and we'll be back with another set of guests. Stay tuned. Stay tuned.